Hello everyone, I am Kajal Gupta. This video lecture is specially for class 8 students. In this video lecture, we are going to cover chapter number 26, 27 and 28 from your PC Ren's English Grammar book. And the name of the chapter is Synthesis of Sentences. So first of all, we are going to learn the definition. Synthesis means the combination of a number of simple sentences into new one sentence. And that new one sentence can be a simple sentence or a compound sentence or a complex sentence. Now, kinds of synthesis. So there are three kinds of synthesis. You can join two or more simple sentences together and can make a simple sentence. Second, you can join two or more simple sentences, can make a complex sentence or a compound sentence. Synthesis of simple sentences. When you are joining two or more simple sentences, there must be only one finite verb. There are many patterns to form a simple sentence. You can see here, there are 6 ways you can form a simple sentence. By using participle, by using nominative absolute, by using conjunction, by using noun or phrase in apposition, by using infinitive, or by using to. Use of participle. When we join two or more sentences together by using participle, only when. So there is a condition that you have to follow. There is only one subject and one task is done after another. Is, am, are, was, were. On the place of these helping verbs, we use being. For example, he is very weak, he cannot go alone. Right? So on the place of subject and helping verb, we are using being here. Being very weak, he cannot go alone. So the next example is, he is intelligent, he can solve this question. Right? Here again we are using being. Being intelligent, he can solve this question. When one task is done immediately after another. For example, he saw a lion, he cried out. Here in the next sentence you can see he cried out. So here this task is done immediately after another task when he saw a lion. So here saw changes into present participle seeing. Seeing a lion, he cried out. You can see in the next example, he heard a noise, he got up. Heard here change into hearing, right? Hearing a noise, he got up. Perfect participle. A person is doing two actions and one action is done after another but not immediately. So here on the place of subject, we use having plus third form of the verb. For example, he wrote a letter, he posted it. So here we are using on the place of subject having. Write, wrote, written is the third form of the verb. Having written a letter, he posted it. Now look at the example number 2. She was awarded by her teacher. She felt happy. So this is a passive sentence. So in a passive sentence, we not only use having plus third form, but also having been plus third form of the verb. Right? So having been awarded by her teacher, she felt happy. Using past participle as adjective. I found my shirt. It was lost. So here, lost is an adjective, right? I found my lost shirt. You can make this sentence like this. I saw a lion. The lion was wounded. So here, you can combine these two simple sentences together by make it one. I saw a wounded lion. By using absolute phrase. When two sentences have two different subjects and the second task is followed by the first task. In active sentence, we use having plus third form of the verb, and in a passive sentence, we use having been plus third form of the verb. For example, the sun rose, the fog disappeared. Here, the second task is followed by the first task, you can see. So your answer will be the sun having risen, the fog disappeared. So whenever you get this condition, when the second task is followed by the first task, in active sentence you use having plus third form, and in a passive sentence you will use having been plus third form of the verb. Here you can see the next example. The soldiers arrived, the mob dispersed. The soldiers having arrived, the mob dispersed. By using conjunction and. So here we have two cases. Case 1, when subject is different and predicate is same. You can see the example. Raj played cricket, Kamal played cricket. Here the subjects are different, but the predicate is same. So you can join these two sentences together by using and. Raj and Kamal played cricket. Now case 2, when subject is same and predicate is different. You can see the example. Kamal can write, Kamal can read. Kamal can write and read. By using noun or phrase in apposition. First of all, the meaning of the word apposition is side by side. When the noun of the first sentence is detailed in the second sentence, and these details are called apposition. Here we remove the subject and helping verbs like is, am, are, was, were, and join noun and other details related to it and make one new sentence. For example, I went to Delhi. Delhi is the capital of India. So here we are joining these two sentences by removing subject and helping verb. I went to Delhi, the capital of India. Similarly, Raj is my friend. He plays cricket with me. Raj, my friend, plays cricket with me. By using infinitive. So whenever we change a finite verb that shows purpose into an infinitive. So whenever you find a purpose, you should use to plus first form of the verb, means infinitive. For example, Raj ran fast. He wanted to get first prize. So he ran fast. Why? Because the purpose was to get first prize. So we will make this sentence by using to plus first form of the verb. Raj ran fast to get first prize. Now look at the example number 2. He came here. He signed the agreement. He came here to sign the agreement. By using to, when the reason for the absence of a task into simple sentences is given in the first sentence. For example, he is very weak, he cannot walk. So he cannot walk. Why? Because he is very weak. So the reason is given in the first sentence. So you can combine these two sentences by using to. He is too weak to walk. Combining simple sentences into a compound sentence. So we can join two or more simple sentences together by using coordinating conjunctions. For example, he is slow, he is sure. He is slow, but he is sure. Come in, go out. Either come in or go out. When subordinate clause is a noun clause. So, in the following examples, the subordinate clause is a noun clause. For example, the clouds would disperse. That was our hope. Our hope was cheering. So here the subordinate clause is a noun clause, and here we put the noun clause at first place. Our hope that the clouds would disperse was cheering. Look at the example number 2. The game was lost. It was the consequence of his carelessness. So the consequence of his carelessness was what? That the game was lost. When subordinate clause is an adjective clause. Here subordinate clause is an adjective clause. So in the following example, the subordinate clause is an adjective clause. A fox once met a lion. The fox had never seen a lion before. Right? So we have two sentences here. A fox who had never seen a lion before met him. So our last topic is when subordinate clause is an adverb clause. Right? Example, you are strong. Thank you so much. When subordinate clause is an adverb clause, for example, you are strong, I am equally strong. I am as strong as you are. So this was our chapter, and in this video lecture we have covered all the 3 units of this chapter, synthesis of sentences. Hope all these things are clear to you. Thank you so much.